It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and tonight's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the football team and the Huskies on Monday night.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle with the Washington football team. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Toronto Ball Club as they enter play here. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for visiting Washington, and I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They passed the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Is upon us. It's week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. And their quarterback, well, everyone knows he's got height, standing at 6'6".
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. And we see the emphasis early here. Get your star receiver involved, able to do it successfully.
Not a bad start to begin with, that's for sure. And to me, this play says our guy is better than your guys. Because, you know, a player of his stature, he won't just be single covered all game long. It's going to involve multiple people. And right away, they told the other team, guess what? He's just better.
On first down, Morrow. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack. The pressure that time right up the middle, and he was able to wiggle in there pretty easily and get the sack.
Yeah, sometimes you end up getting caught in a little bit of a breakdown about who to block up front, and that creates the gap there, and he took full advantage, got to the quarterback, and finished off the sack.
The start less than ideal as they already face a second and long. Looking to throw. Morrow. Under pressure, and they got to him again. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a third and long.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. From the gun, Morrow. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
That's how we do it. Recovered by the offense.
Offensively lucky there, able to keep the football, but now fourth down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. Returnable here from the 38. It'll be a 41-yard punt, getting 5 on the return. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line.
He's brought down at the 42-yard line. A gain of a yard brings up 3rd and...
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, not a game that you're going to go crazy about, but when you start at your own 2-yard line, any type of space is good for the offensive guys.
Yeah, you just can't go backwards from here. They did it. Now we'll see if they can keep it on schedule here on 2nd down. To throw on 3rd down. Morrow. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Here's Johnny Hecker now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Fighting his way through contact. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their 2nd drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right when they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak can have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. They'll set up to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Touchdown! A great play there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Huskies have taken the early lead. And that time, he came out of the slot for that big play downfield for the score.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was what we call scheming a guy open. Put him in the slot, know that he has tremendous speed. What you're doing with your other receivers is likely running shorter routes to draw the attention closer to the line of scrimmage, to give him a chance to get downfield and turn it into a one-on-one route, often against the safety. You like your odds when he's running against the safety. His speed usually wins, and it did on that play.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Washington ready to try again on offense. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Now a give right side. Melvin. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down. On third down, Morrow taking a shot for Samuel. That went a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete. Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for Washington. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And that will come the offense as they take over. Toronto's offense ready to take over. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. And now here's a carry heading left. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Going to throw right side here, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now a handoff as they run left side. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 12 carries, 62 yards.
And to me, the goal is the exact same thing as last week. Get him the ball early and often. I think he's got another big game in him in this one.
2nd and 9 now. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the first down marker. Now back to throw. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end. Complete.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Now a handoff looking right. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, Toronto in possession of the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. Back to throw here. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. He'll look to throw. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
And they'll send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. He has not had the game that he envisioned. His team has not had the game that they've envisioned here. So how do they turn this around now?
Well, right now what he's looking forward to doing is finding a way to get the added weight on his back. Is it like that monkey that Steve Young was talking about? Remember that in the Super Bowl?
Oh, the 95 Super Bowl.
Right, when they beat the Chargers, and, he had that weight of expectations and past greats on his back. In this case, it's just bad play. Can he shake it off and then be able to...
And he's going to be brought down back at his own 6-yard line. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now we've got whistles here before the snap, and I believe this is going to be on Washington. Not a great start to this drive. You had the sack, now the false start.
I mean, it doesn't take much to either read lips or just imagine what the head coach is saying right now. Get your head in the game, guys. Let's go.
On 3rd down, Melvin shedding through the defense. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
Here's Johnny Hacker now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So a change of possession here on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. It's the 2nd quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get this down only to about the 46.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 4.
He'll look to throw. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Looking for the end zone. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
Time again to see Terry McLaurin in the Washington offense. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us. But sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Morrow. And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted. Picked off at the 30. That pick is 9th on the season.
Remember when you were kids and you were playing Little League Baseball and they penciled you in the 9 spot in the order? That wasn't so good, was it?
Were you in the 9 hole?
Or you played the 9 position, right field. That wasn't so great.
That wasn't. You're picking dandelions out there.
Exactly.
But the 9 picks
you want that in a big way. That's a great season.
Heck of a season. On 1st down, it's Harrison. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Back to throw. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. On 3rd down, Harrison. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. Now on 4th down, out comes the field goal unit here. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. And his kick is right there. It's good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. Pressure's been coming at him a lot, hasn't it?
And they've got to figure out how to tamp down that pressure. How do they decrease it? Is it getting rid of the football quicker? Shorter drops? Maybe they do something different with their pass blocking and their protection schemes. Maybe you meet them on the line of scrimmage instead of retreating to try and protect your quarterback. They've got to figure something out, though, because you cannot let your guy get hit that much, not if you intend to win.
Yeah, I know they'd like to erase that video and those 4 sacks that they've seen so far. To throw on 2nd down, Morrow. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder,
because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily. But I also wonder if it's going to nerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
Toronto's offense ready to take over. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when you clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle it. That's what you're looking for.
The offense on third down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. And for the second time tonight, his field goal unit comes out here. He made his first attempt, this from 45. And this one is right down the middle. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Time again to see Terry McLaurin in the Washington offense. With them losing here in the second quarter and his limited productivity so far, you'd have to think they're going to try to look to him a little bit more, right?
I would guess you would start to see maybe some quick screens, some hitches, anything to get the ball in his hands quickly and let him try and do some damage after the catch. Or maybe just flip some formations and keep him isolated where it's more of a one-on-one route and get the ball to him.
I said just 4 verts, right?
Hey, why not 4 verts? One of the best routes in football. Hard to cover each guy all the way along the route.
So far, just 1 catch for him. In trouble, and he's taken down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Johnny Hekker now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return. Toronto's offense ready to take over. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. The best way to do it, touchdowns.
That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down.
I think they tried to fool him on that one. You know, being able to throw the ball to the fullback position. No one was fooled on that play.
No, lost yardage. You think they should yank that one from the playbook, at least for the time being?
I think what you do is you take it out and you evaluate it next week in practice.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Flush to his right. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
on first down. He'll drop to throw it. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Flushed out right. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half.
He was able to get away earlier in the drive, but apparently all the time they put in practice finally came to the front, didn't it? They remembered their lessons and found a way to contain him when he took off on that one.
And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. So we're at halftime here on a Monday night. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up at US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, where it was the Vikings who were able to get the victory at home. Dalvin Cook, well over 100 yards on the ground with 3 touchdown runs. From there, we're off to check out another game. And it was the visiting LA Rams who get the victory in that one. Tutu Atwell, a touchdown catch in the victory. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And they were losers in that game as they fall to the visiting Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for Washington. And not much went right in those first 2 quarters. You can see the numbers on the ground there. Not a whole lot to write home about so far. Meanwhile, for our home team, they had a little bit more success on the ground than their opponents did. And that should set them up well for the second half to come.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. And this offense set to go now to begin the third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. And now here's a carry heading left. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Looking to throw. He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
That's another beautiful throw right there. It gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another first down there.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Now they try the right side here. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Now they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Now a handoff as they run left side. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did there to make that play.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
And the final number here in terms of top speed, I mean, that almost looks like a misprint. He was just absolutely flying. Unbelievable.
Out of the gun now on third down. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the night. And the Huskies are able to add on to that lead.
Quite a show of arm strength right there. That was in the air for a long time, and it was on target, too.
And that is absolutely demoralizing for a defense because you've got the offense on the ropes. It's third down. You're trying to get off the field, and then wham. You have a letdown in the secondary, and you give up a big one.
The offense going to stay on the field as they will line up and go for two. They're going to keep it on the ground. And he is not going to get in there. He stops short of the goal line, and the lead is going to stay right where it is.
You know, sometimes the guy on the defensive side of the ball, he just has a good feeling or a good read, and he unleashed his defense on that one. Boy, they stopped him in a big way.
Yeah, I hate to be cliche, but sometimes we overanalyze. They just have more want. Looked like they had more want right there.
More want and more people to the ball.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Taking it about the 1. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. First possession of the second half now for Washington.
And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing.
And he can't escape, and down he goes. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on second.
I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Looking to throw on second down. Morrow. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, winding that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And that will bump the lead up to 26. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away.
Taken at the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. So far, this has to feel like a horrible dream for him. He's thrown more completions to the other team than he has to his. 3 interceptions.
Now, this will test him mentally. And this is going to test his mettle and test his fortitude, because once you've thrown those 3, you start to feel sorry for yourself. But you can't do that. There's more football to be played. Let's talk about Jason Garrett, the coach of the Cowboys, and he mentioned at one point Tony Romo threw 5 interceptions in a game, but turned out to be one of the better games he played because he rallied down the stretch and took him to victory.
Under a heavy rush, reception. Down he goes. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's third down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they're going to get him down well short of the first, as he can only get this to about the 19. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? Third down. They just said, we've got faith in our tackles. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. Toronto's offense ready to take over. They're continuing to rock and roll, and at intermission, maybe sometimes you fear after such a good first half of a letdown, but that wasn't the case.
And what I remember most about being in those situations is exactly what you're talking about. You almost have that sense of satisfaction. You're like, we're doing really well. I remember one time someone saying, winning's fun, but so is playing really well. Why would we want to do otherwise? That was the message, to keep the intensity up, to keep things going, and that's exactly what we're seeing here from this team.
Yeah, it's helped them extend their lead. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They'll set up a throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The reception good for 7. It's third down. They'll look to throw. And he's got it to Patterson, complete. Touchdown! A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Huskies get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. And he wasn't blocking or running it there. They tossed it to him.
And remember the good old days when the 49ers were riding roughshod in the league? They used their fullback in pass plays all the time. Roger Craig, Tom Rathman, those guys were terrific at running these types of plays.
Point after try forthcoming. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. And the Washington offense heading out.
These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. They'll run on first down. Melvin. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll keep it on the ground. Melvin. Room to run past midfield. Pushes past him. And finally, he is out of bounds, but not before taking it down near the 15.
76 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
And a guy that can change the game, shows you a glimpse of it right there, taking the ball down inside the red zone.
It just tells you how tough it is for a defense. You just hold on all game and essentially hold your breath. Will they break a big one on us at any point during the game? It just happened right there.
On first down, Melvin. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, second down.
But keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
And he takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
To throw on third down, Morrow. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete.
Touchdown, Washington.
A great play there, with touchdown number 7 on the year.
And Washington able to cut into that deficit. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point, because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And that trims the lead a bit, but still standing at 26 points. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Toronto's offense ready to take over. Still comfortably on top, third quarter, as they start things here with a 1st and 10.
And now here's a carry heading left. And he'll be brought down here at the 28.
2nd and 6.
It's now 2nd and 6.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Looking left side, he's got it, complete.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back to Toronto. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now a handoff as they run left side. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. And now here's a carry heading left. And they do get this across midfield to the 49, but a small consolation prize as he's well short of the first. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They bring their punter out there now as he's on to kick it away. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
Yeah, he said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
1st and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Working with a 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. 91 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's going on.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Throwing on 1st down. Morrow throwing middle, but it's incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun. Morrow throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Back to throw. Morrow, and that is incomplete. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's going to air one out. And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete. Washington goes for it, but it does not pan out. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. So certainly not the way that they were hoping that possession would end, failing to convert on 4th.
And now they've got to make sure that they keep their poise, they keep their confidence. Just because it didn't work once doesn't mean if they get that same situation later that they shouldn't go for it again. The defense feels great, but the offense, they can't be despondent.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Second and 8. Hands it off out of the gun. And down inside the 15 he goes.
Let's go! Let's go! Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've run the ball 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Harrison, and he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
touchdown. It's complete. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season.
And the Huskies look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes, carving them up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. So that drive, 4 plays. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
This fielded right at the goal line. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
On 1st and 10, Morrow. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off around the 37, and his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. CD, this defense, man, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a pass.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll start by running the option to the right. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. And let's check on the call. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
A pretty good-looking run there on 1st down. That'll go for 9 yards, just short of the line to gain.
Ball at the 33, 2nd and 9. Now he'll try to run with this.
Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 5 out of 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the gun, Morrow. This will be caught once again by Brown. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll look to throw again. Winds up and lets it go for Samuel. And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College. Not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no, there was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
An extra point by Sly is up and good as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Taking it about the 1. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Toronto's offense ready to take over. And this crowd has certainly liked what they've seen. Their guys fully expected to win this one coming in, and they have not disappointed as they've got the big lead here in the 4th. Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it could be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Now a handoff here to his running back. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Toronto, the win moves them a couple games over 500 now at 7-5. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Minnesota Vikings come to town. Meanwhile, for Washington, the playoffs look to be out of reach now as they drop to 4-8. And they'll try to make amends next week as they host the Cleveland Browns.